Howdy folks, it's Harrison with Mainely Acres Farms, and thank you for joining me on another questions and answers video series. Today we're going to go back to the original question that I started with, which is people are having problems getting the bobbin thread to come up through the top and thread it through the machine. And a lot of people watched that video and they said that they were still having problems, so that didn't fix their issue. So I wanted to go back and retouch on that and just go over all the possibilities that it could be and talk about each one of them and how it may affect your machine. So let's dive in and see exactly what I'm talking about here. Alrighty, the first issue I wanted to talk about was the placement of our needle driver here in correlation with this locking lug here on the top. As you guys can see on my machine here, I have the needle driver sticking up about a 1/4 inch past this locking lug. And that's important because that's going to set up your needle for the right depth for going into the bobbin well, wrapping around the thread in there and pulling it back up, so that way you guys can continue sewing with your machine. So a quick way to adjust that is just to take a flat-headed screwdriver, put it in there and give it a crank to the left, lefty-loosey, and you can adjust the height of your needle bar here, and you can also adjust the direction of the needle driver as well. And I'll scan down here lower and show you the correct setup to have your needle driver in. So remember, a 1/4 inch from the top. Now let's go down to the bottom here. Alrighty, now that we're on the lower end of the sewing machine here, I'm going to talk about the location of your needle driver. So as you guys can see, this is the tapered side of the needle driver with the channel where your thread comes out here. You want to make sure that all of this, the channel and everything, is facing to the outside of the sewing machine. And that's going to set up your lug that holds your needle in place to the inside of the sewing machine. Alrighty, the next possibility could be the gearing still. Now I know we went over the correct way to gear the bobbin mechanism to operate the bobbin, but now we're going to talk about this lower bar here that actually operates the gears of your bobbin inside. A good way to know if you're set up correctly with the gearing and where the bar should come out on your sewing machine is to take your crankshaft and put it in the 3 o'clock position. And what you should be looking at here is where this bar stops at the 3 o'clock, because at the 3 o'clock position is going to be extended as far as this bar is going to go out, and you want that to be flush with the outside bar here. So if for some reason your bar is sticking out past, then you just simply unscrew these 2 nuts here and push it back with your thumb and then tighten those back down. Now if for some reason it's still inside here in the bar and not all the way out, just take your finger and kind of push against the bar and get it to come to where it's flush with the outside. The last thing that I want to talk about with the gearing on this bar is to make sure that the gearing on the back side here is riding on the correct channel on your crankshaft. So let's go around the back and I'll show you what I'm talking about with that. We're taking a look at the back side of the crankshaft, and you want to make sure that your bobbin rod is running on this inside channel here on your crank and not the outside one. I made the mistake of when I put my machine together for the first time of having both of these, this right here and the bobbin one riding in the same channel, and it didn't work out very good for me. So make sure that it's on the inside channel there. And I think that's going to cover it. So let's go back around to the front of the machine, make sure I covered everything. Well folks, I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Let me know if that fixed your problem. Please leave comments down below if it did. If not, also leave comments down below, because I'm always trying to troubleshoot these machines, but I think that pretty much covered everything. You want to make sure the gearing is set up correctly and that your needle driver is in the right orientation, and you should be good to go. So always like, subscribe if this video has helped you. Feel free to share it, and as always, spend time with that family.